Hello, clinicians. My son's just arrived home. Not sure if you got to hear that. I got to hear it. Wasn't expecting him. Yay! Isn't that always the way? Happy Friday, Friday. And I am wearing this really, really cute little hat, Circus Sports Girl. Thank you, Anthony. Sports Girl, maybe, 1998, because we haven't had any hot water until about 3 o'clock this afternoon. And you're all going, yeah, but you could have had a shower between 3 and 4:30 when you got on this Facebook Live, Joe. But, yeah, I chose that, I wanted to be whingy and whiny. No, I actually love having a shower at the end of my workday. It's a cool way for me to manage the transition from having been at work to being not at work. Given that I work from my home predominantly, it's really useful for me to have some of those behavioral breaks in my workday. So what are you celebrating this week? What have you done well? What have you finished? What have you accomplished? What are you feeling good about? This is an opportunity to talk about or share with us all the cool stuff that's happened this week, even if it's something as simple as my Friday mantra, which is don't start anything new. So on a Friday, it's my finish day. Fridays are for finishing. I love to finish things on a Friday. I actually, before I got on this call, had this massive scratching through things on my to-do list moment, which was very, very cool. Yes, my to-do list continues to evolve. And yes, it does go over several pages. So things are being crossed out, so it's very, very cool to see things being crossed out because they've been there all week. And that's just a way that to-do lists are working for me at the moment, is what are the things that needs to be done. And one of the things I've been doing this week is interviewing companies that are more than just general virtual assistants, that they offer something quite specific in the technology integration piece. And that's been really quite fascinating. I'm doing this on behalf of a couple of my practice building clients because we're trying to find some really good resource for them, because the opportunity cost now for them to actually spend hours and hours trying to do their own uploading to websites and integrate. Anyway, it's no longer useful. They've learned how to do it. Now it's time for them to learn how to delegate it to somebody who knows what they're doing. So I love talking to companies and finding out what they do. But the way I've approached this round of interviewing is I've gone with a very, very specific and clear outline of exactly what it is that I'm looking for, so that the salesperson can turn up on the call with me and be able to kind of know yes or no in the first couple of minutes of whether or not there's something that's something they can help with. So anyone who responds to me with, oh, we don't actually know how to do that, but we could learn, is automatically taken off my list. People who go, oh, we have awesome people who can do, this happened to me once where I was asking for a specific piece of software. I said, I need somebody who can use this particular piece of software. Well, they went on to explain to me all the pieces of software they could use, but didn't explain that they could use the one that I wanted. So that went back 3 times in a message conversation, and they went, no, we don't know how, but. And I said, I don't need the buts. This is the piece of software that I actually want you to be able to use. And if you can't use it, then you're not right for us. So it's been quite fascinating. And also helping people understand how online marketing and email marketing and content marketing for clinicians and therapists needs to be quite different, that there are some nuances to the way we do things online that we can't do the way normal widget sellers or coaches or somebody else might be able to market. So everybody wants to tell me their strategy and how they get more people on email lists and stuff, and the first things they start talking about are testimonials and client videos, and I'm like, stop. Don't need your strategy. We come with that. We actually come with all the content. I need you to implement it. And if you ask us to do things like that, you're going to be breaking all of the laws that allow us to practice. Hey, Carol. Hey, Beck. Happy Friday afternoon. Woohoo. So it's been absolutely fascinating. And I think it's been really good for me to be able to do it on behalf of clients that I'm incredibly fiercely loyal to, because I won't let anyone mess them around. So I'm very quick to get to the core and cut to the chase around what it is we're looking for and how they can serve us. Hey, Jen. So that's been quite a big piece of work, which continues into next week. So yay. If anyone's interested in finding out what I'm learning or they want some more specific information, message me, let me know. I'm not going to be recommending anybody straight away. I'm currently in the investigative process. But in saying that, I may have found a solution to get us out of the Infusionsoft trap that I'm in at the moment. And it might not be as expensive as I thought it was going to be. Hurrah! But let's just, wait and see what happens there. So people who are on the call, thank you very much for turning up. What are you celebrating this week? Share with me. I'd love to know some of the things that have been awesome in your world this week. My practice building clients have been hitting some fairly major goals this week. We've had one practice employee recruit offer start somebody, their brand new practice manager. We've been recruiting all year. The first round of interviews didn't go so well, meaning that she got great applicants, but they didn't necessarily be a good fit for the job. So we refined her job ad, we made it more specific and more targeted, and wow, people need help in learning how to apply for vacancies. So her new practice manager starts next week, so all this pressure and the weight of the world and all the details in her business, and she's been coping with this like this for over 12 months, and we've known that we've had to get to this point where she could bring someone on full-time. But we needed to get her to a financially secure position, or a position where she felt safe to be able to make this jump. So this is really exciting. Her business can now grow and thrive at a whole new level because she's got somebody to help carry the weight in her business. Another one of my practice building clients, the incredible Sherry, has been published or quoted in a Huffington Post article that she submitted through HARO, which is a media outlet in the USA. It's like Source Bottle here for us in Australia. So that was really exciting for her. So often getting yourself to the point where you can actually just write something and complete the application that the journalists or the editors are looking for, that can be a lengthy process too. So to actually go and do that and be published in an article is really awesome and great credibility. Sherry is an incredible asset to her profession and to the younger generations, meaning the less experienced generations of people coming through in the US, and I'm really proud of her. Time for a sip. And then Jill Johnson Young, I thought Jill was hiding from me. But actually, what Jill's done is she's gone and published another book. So this is her second book in less than 6 months. So she has gone and published a book which is available on Amazon now for children who need help to understand that somebody that they love is sick and dying. She couldn't find a resource anywhere. She's had lots of people asking her for a resource. So she went and wrote a book and has had it illustrated, and it's just delightful. And I don't know about you, but trying to talk to children about death and dying, we get tongue-tied and it's awkward and we don't want to upset them, but it's an upsetting time. I remember all my nieces and nephews and my son, when my mum died, they were all looking to us as the adults, like, how are we supposed to act and how are we supposed to feel and what are we supposed to do now? So having a book to talk through and stimulate some conversation, I think it's just an amazing resource. And if you haven't seen Jill's Your Path Through Grief workbook, and you have people in your world who are going through grief following the loss of a loved one, that's an incredible resource. So what incredible things to celebrate this week. I'm also going to shout out to one of my consultants, Ross. Now, I don't know if he'll listen to this. Sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. Beck, the book is, I'll put a link to the book because I can't remember it off the top of my head, and I'm really scared that I'll interrupt the internet connection. So I'll put a link. Carol, you're working on online courses plus new articles. Go you, good thing. So I want to talk about Ross. So we have a consultant within Purple Co. He is a cool guy. I've known Ross. We went to uni together. I graduated in 1994. We've known each other for a while. We've known of each other, and he's been working alongside me in Purple Co for 6-7 years now. He's a smart man. He's actually blind. So he went to an event yesterday on our behalf, an industry event, and that's not an easy thing. Even though he's incredibly capable, he travels all over the world, and I've had the pleasure of being educated by Ross on how to help a blind person navigate a new space. So going to this industry event on his own, we needed to check things like, could somebody be there to meet him and help him get through any doorways? Not because he doesn't know how to access a door, but as if he's never been somewhere before. It's really, and people are hustling and bustling and not moving. I've seen this. I've seen this happen. And we just found it amusing that some of the questions that the people who were attending this event, so I work in rehabilitation. It's an industry event, that somebody asked him what the color of his shirt was, and he had to politely help them understand that he was blind and didn't know what the color of his shirt was. And he also had to help them understand that he was blind, and they could tell because he was standing there with a stick. And apparently somebody came along beside him and said, hey, let's go, and didn't understand that he actually needs a tactile response to actually help navigate through a crowd or through a new space. So they actually walked off and expected that he would follow. So I'm not having a go at anybody here, but I think it raises an incredibly important point about accessibility and about how we just have so much rushing going on that we don't stop to think. But I'm going to congratulate Ross, because every time I ask him to do something, or if he'd like to go somewhere, or if he'd like to be a part of something, he always says yes, and he works it out, and he works out how. And that's why he can be the success he is with our clients, because they meet him and go, wow, I can do this because I've got someone here who gets to do this every single day. So that is worth celebrating. So congratulations, you've been awesome this week. You have done great things for people. You have led them through uncomfortable process. You have looked after yourself, and you've got through to Friday. And if you're watching this in the Northern Hemisphere, Friday's coming. We just get to celebrate a little earlier because, I'm an Australian and all of that exciting stuff. So here's to a lovely weekend. May you rest well, replenish well, hug your loved ones a lot. And I am really looking forward to talking to you some more next week. Next week, we here in Australia have another public holiday. So for those of you in private practice here in Australia who forget that it's a public holiday next Wednesday, you're either going to get a hell of a lot done, or you don't have to turn up to work. Have a great weekend, everybody.